Got a 70s Deluxe Reverb here. That was last in for service last September. The owner says he was playing a gig. There's a power surge, power cut out, the amp made a popping sound, and now just hums. So let's see what's up. Last time it was here, got new output tubes, new speaker, one new 12AT7 and one new 5751. I didn't expect to find any problems here under the doghouse, but wanted to check just in case. So let's see on the other side. I'm remembering more about the amp as I look through it. Sorry, September was a long time ago, and a previous tech had already done a bunch of stuff, had not done a complete replacement of all the old caps. I completed getting the old caps changed out. I left some stuff like the Sprague Atom bias cap he put in and stuff. The screen grid resistors at that time measured okay, but that is something which could easily have failed, though they don't have any discoloration. They were healthy and measured fine last time, or they would not have gone out. Let's see where they measure now. 510. They're nominally 470, but 510's within the normal range. 489. So maybe not ideal, but that shouldn't be a problem. I don't see anything else in the amp that leads me to think something's really wrong. In my experience, things like this are usually either power tubes, 6v6s in this case, or maybe the rectifier. Before I test all that, let me show you what the rest of the amp is looking like. Alright, so it has the original bias, resistor, and diode. It's got a replacement cap there. You can see I redid some of the chassis grounds. Better 2 chassis. It's got the original stuff on the output tubes. These were previous tech's work. That's one of mine. That's previous tech's. Those are previous tech's. Nothing in here fancy, but nothing in here should be problematic. I'm going to power it on and see what behavior I get. Alright, we've got the light bulb limiter hooked up. Let's power it on in standby, which will isolate pretty much just the heaters, the rectifier tube, and the first reservoir cap. Everything else is out of the circuit right now. Not seeing any issues. There's no light show. Let's take it out of standby. I hear my Wi-Fi router interfering with it. That's to be expected, but I don't hear any of the hum the owner reported. Let's turn the normal channel up. Nothing. I mean, we have signal, we just don't have hum. We turn the reverb channel up, vibrato channel up. Hiss, but no hum. Let's see if there's any sensitivity at the input jacks. No, they're normaling properly. Let me check on the normal channel. Those are also normaling properly. Bring the reverb up. There's an increase in buzz, as you'd expect with no tank connected, but there's no hum. So all I hear is just interference from the Wi-Fi router, and that goes away if the cabinet's shielded. So let me hook up a guitar and see what it sounds like. Well, everything is sounding very healthy and normal, as you know, this is what it would have probably sounded like last September when I sent it out. There's no noise on any of the pots. No, the tubes are microphonic. There's one other thing to check. If he has a problem with his reverb tank, that could introduce a hum. When I got the amp, the reverb knob was on 4. I disconnected the tank, so I've not tested that yet. So that's the next thing to make sure. And then I'll call the owner at that point. Well, again, aside from my Wi-Fi router, I'm not hearing anything weird, and that goes away once it's the cabinet that's contacting the shield at the top. The chassis is contacting the shield. More or less. It was gone a minute ago. It's hard to get the perfect contact without the screws in place. I'm not hearing any problem with this. The tank seems fine. Everything seems fine. Let me call the owner and see what's up. He might have had a bad cable, or if he's going through a pedal board and had a power surge, he may think it's the problems in the amp. Problem may be in a pedal. But he may have just plugged straight in, and there's just something that only comes every 17 hours. So no judgment on my end. I think the owner is absolutely right to have it checked out just in case. So far, everything seems quite healthy. So let me see what he says. Well, I let this thing run for about 3 hours, and it exhibited no issues whatsoever. I called the owner while it was doing that, and he said that the power surged at his church, that his sound guy said that they saw the surge, and then the power cut out, and the amp powered off. And when the power came back, the amp powered off, made a pop, and then it came back on and it hummed. I'm not sure what would be the cause of that. I have not found anything wrong with this amp whatsoever. The bias is normal. It's the wall voltage could probably go to 130 before you'd have any issues with the bias in this thing. Heaters maybe. All the tubes seem just fine. Just to be on the safe side, I went ahead and changed out those 2 screen grids resistors that had been original. So 2 new 3-watt 470 ohms, and the amp seems to be absolutely healthy. I told the owner everything I did, everything I found, and we're just going to see if it happens again, because there's no hum at all. The one question I forgot to ask the guy was if he was using a ground lift adapter. I will call him in a little while and find out about that. He wasn't using any pedals, he was straight into the amp, but if he was using a ground lift adapter with this thing, he might have had hum. And he also might have had a bad reaction to a power surge. Anywho, I think this amp's going to be just fine.